So welcome back to The Bright Side, once again, your nutritional and health program. The Bright Side's a perspective. It's a perspective that explodes medical mythologies that do not serve us. Medical mythologies that are promoted by the mainstream medical model, that are promoted by business interests, and unfortunately, mainstream ideas that are promoted by naturopaths sometimes, and so-called alternative practitioners. Ideas that are promoted by people we trust, by healthcare professionals that we trust, but unfortunately, many times are getting their information from the same antiquated, hoary old sources that the average person gets them from. I love the internet, and I do all kinds of research on the internet, but you guys, you got to be careful, and you got to get a lot of information and then kind of weed through, throw out the weeds and just find the good stuff. And that is not necessarily an easy task. I get letters all the time. Well, I read that this causes cancer. Well, I read that this causes immune problems. Well, I read that it's in my genetics. You know, if any healthcare professional or anybody tells you it's in your genes, they don't know what they're talking about. The genetic theory's dead, as we know it anyway. Obviously, genes are involved in everything, but the idea that disease is in your genes is a bad idea. It's an old idea. It's not true. Today, we know there's all kinds of factors that influence your genes. Genes turn on and off like Christmas tree lights. And we know that there's no one gene for one disease. It's not like you have a gene for cancer. Not like you have a gene for breast cancer, the BRCA gene. Oh, I got the BRCA gene for cancer. I'm going to take my breasts off. No, it doesn't work that way. Genes are networked, and they're complex, and they interact with each other, and they interact with nutrients, and they interact with their environment. You don't have a gene for anything. That's nonsense. And if anybody ever tells you that, they don't understand genetics, and you shouldn't be paying attention to them. If anybody ever tells you you need to take a poison pill to lower your cholesterol, because we know cholesterol causes heart disease, they don't know what they're talking about. And that includes your doctor. Cholesterol does not cause heart disease. That's nonsense. What causes heart disease and what causes cancer and what causes diabetes and what causes autoimmune diseases are the same thing, because all disease is the manifestation of the same fundamental breakdown. And that's what this program is about, simplifying everything. No wonder why people go crazy when it comes to taking care of their bodies or curing disease, reversing disease. I don't like the word cure, reversing disease. Of course we go crazy because we're led this way and that way. You know, it's kind of like, if I can stretch a metaphor here, in the Bible, they say, Jesus says, if anybody says, look here, look there, look over there, that's where it is, it's over here, it's over there, he doesn't know what he's talking about because it's inside. The kingdom of heaven is within you. And the cause of all disease, likewise, is within, and it's singular, and it's one thing. And it's what we talk about on this program all the time. And it's common sense, really, when you think about it. The one cause of disease, the only cause of disease, chronic degenerative disease, is burden, stress, heaviness, load. And it shows up as inflammation, immunity, inflammation/immunity. It's not a virus. It's not your gene. It's not food additives. Although these are secondary causes, perhaps. These are causes of burden. These are causes of attack, but it's the burden and it's the attack and the body's response that causes the problem. The language of disease is the immune system and inflammation to the body. This is how the body tells us something is wrong. Inflammation and immunity, and folks, that's it. All chronic degenerative disease is the end result of immunity/inflammation. They're the same thing. And immunity is the body's defense system. If you got a chronic long-term health issue, you've got chronic long-term attack. And it could be low level. And this is where it gets a little tricky. It can be under the radar. And then a critical mass is reached, and then you get this biochemical alarm, and we call that disease. It's like when your smoke detector goes off. It doesn't go off as soon as smoke arises from the food you're cooking or the food you're burning, as the case may be. It doesn't go off right away. The smoke has to build up and a critical mass is reached, and boom, smoke detector goes off. Likewise in the body, the smoke is starting off very imperceptibly, and then it gets thicker and thicker. And finally, the biochemical smoke alarm goes off, and we say, oh, I got a disease. The problem is we didn't notice the smoke. We didn't notice the food as it was burning over the course of years and decades. We're burning our food. Smoke is building up. And then a critical mass is reached. And we say, oh, I got arthritis. I was sitting here minding my own business, perfectly healthy, and then zap, I got arthritis. Or boom, I got cancer. Or then I got MS. I was just minding my own business, and then I got MS. And I hear this all the time, and understandably so, because the disease process takes place slowly, imperceptibly, invisibly, over the course of weeks and months and years and decades, and really decades. That's why it's really remarkable how well we can go through our lives and function, even though this disease process is percolating deep down underneath. We're allowed to think this. We're allowed to think this idea that we were just minding our own business and boom, we got attacked by cancer because there's money to be made in it. There's a commercial running from Cancer Centers of America, I think it is. Cancer, we're going to beat you. Cancer, you will not get us. Folks, cancer's us. We're cancer. Cancer's ourselves. You don't beat cancer. You don't fight cancer. You change the environment in the body. And FYI, cancers remit. Cancers remit spontaneously, not really spontaneously, but they remit, seem spontaneously. The body can fight cancer. There are all kinds of mechanisms in cells and in the body to snip out cancer, just like the way you cut your hair, just like the way you take a splinter out. The body does exactly the same thing with cancer. When it goes wrong, that's when we run into a problem. But Cancer Centers of America is making billions of dollars. They're not going to tell you that. They don't even know it. But if you're listening to this program and this makes sense to you, you know it. And that's what counts. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180. This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online, and I found it. It's buysellmakeoffer.com, a brand new company that's the newest and best way to sell products online. You can even use Skype or video to sell your car, home, any product. You get 30 days free, packages starting from only $7.95, and buysellmakeoffer.com never charges item fees ever. Just go sign up, then load your stuff to sell. I love this site, buysellmakeoffer.com. Got it? Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, the Mineral Doctor. You've heard me talk about 90 for Life for years. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 fatty acids. You may not know this, that I've actually designed Arthrodex for animals. That's right. Your pets need 90 for Life too. Get this essential pet product by calling 877-279-9422. That's 877-279-9422. Again, 877-279-9422.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
I've been working with patients for 30 plus years as a formulator, as a therapist, as a pharmacist, as an educator, as a researcher, and when you see things over and over again, you start to see patterns. And I noticed that everybody got sick the same way. That's where I came up with the triangle of disease. Underneath all disease, I noticed, was some kind of digestive issue, blood sugar issue, and ultimately an oxygenation issue. And this is what I mean when I say all disease, chronic degenerative diseases, are the same thing. From Science Signaling, this is January 12th, 2016. Is Alzheimer's heart disease of the brain? Yes, it is. Or heart disease is Alzheimer's of the heart. Alzheimer's is osteoporosis of the brain. Osteoporosis is Alzheimer's of the bone. It's the same thing. This one's from the journal New England Journal of Medicine. Study links hypoxia, that's low blood oxygen, and inflammation. Yes, this is one of the major causes of inflammation. It's the third point on the triangle of disease. The molecular basis of inflammation and disease, December 2007, Nutrition Reviews. Feeling the heat, the link between inflammation and cancer itself. Yes, the emperor of all diseases, as it has been called, the most terrifying of all diseases, cancer. It's an inflammatory disease. Inflammation, stress, and diabetes. Burden. Stress is burden. Inflammation is burden. It's attack. Got to see the big picture, how this is all occurring. The body's attacked. In order to protect itself, it builds a wall. That wall is inflammation. That wall is good in a temporary, short-term way, but chronically, it leads to disease. It can't help but lead to disease because cells can't get their nutrients. They can't get their oxygen when a wall is built around cells. Sleep apnea devices lower blood pressure. Now, how would that work? Well, a sleep apnea device improves oxygenation. You improve oxygenation, your blood pressure drops. Hold your breath. Watch what happens to your blood pressure. Get a blood pressure cuff. Hold your breath. Watch what happens to your blood pressure. And tell that to the next boneheaded doctor who wants to put you on a calcium channel blocker. Say, Doc, why don't you hold your breath, take that blood pressure cuff, and see what happens to your blood pressure? Oh, you mean there's a link between respiration and oxygenation, my blood pressure? Interesting. No, but we'll poison your heart. We'll give you a beta blocker to poison your heart. So we've been talking about diabetes. And like all diseases, diabetes is an inflammatory disease. It's a protective disease. Inflammation is protection. Diabetes is inflammation. Diabetes is protection. From what? Guess what? Sugar. Now that stuff, and we do need a little bit of sugar. And, by the way, I'm addicted to sugar as the same as all human beings are. I'm no better than anybody else. So this is not about beating anybody up for cravings or for food cravings. Never, ever should that ever happen, that anybody gets a guilt trip or anybody gets beaten up for their food choices. These are hardwired into us. We're hardwired to go for foods that weren't, or go for food components and foods that weren't in our environment for millions of years. For hundreds of thousands of years, there was no sugar. So today we're bombarded with sugar, but our wiring is such that we can't resist it. It's built into us. So nobody should ever get beaten up for their choices, but we just want to recognize it. We want to recognize our participation in the disease process. Unless you're shooting things IV, things get into the blood only through food, only through digestion. Not that this is about guilt, but it's just about logic. If we have a chronic degenerative disease, and if you're listening to this program and you're healthy, praise God, because it's miserable to have any health challenge. Miserable and scary and so tragically unnecessary. So if you're healthy, praise God every day, every moment. Be grateful. Even something like nausea can just throw you off. For some people, even a pimple can do it. But imagine having an autoimmune disease where you can't move your body, or neuropathy where you have pain every time you take a step. There are so many horrible things that can happen to the body, and unnecessarily so. For the most part, the inflammatory immune defensive system, which is the cause of all disease, kicks in because something is getting into the blood inappropriately, or something is not getting into the blood. What gets into the blood? Food. What doesn't get into the blood? Oxygen and nutrition. What gets into the body is toxicity. What doesn't get into the body is oxygen and nutrients. And thus you have the three causes of inflammation and immunity, and ultimately of disease: starvation, suffocation, toxification. Starvation meaning no nutrients at the cell level. Remember, the body is cells and stuff, and it's all about the cell. So the cell's not getting fed, the cell's not getting oxygen, and it's swimming in its own waste. There's a very important link between digestive wellness and diabetes too, not just sugar. The microbiome, the gut bacteria are very important for the formation of messed up blood sugar. In fact, that's where it all begins. You want to pick one place where it all begins, it's the microbiome. The universe of bacteria that live in the gut that we didn't even know about. At least we didn't even understand the connection to good health in the microbiome until 30 years ago. They didn't even teach us this in pharmacy school in the 80s. Didn't even mention the microbiome, not a peep about it. And I graduated in 1986. We didn't start learning about the fundamental nature of gut bacteria until the 90s. That's 20 years ago. It takes a long time for the average mainstream doctor to understand these things. Food represents the most common invader into the inner sanctum of the body, the blood. It's about the blood, folks. When I say the body, I mean the blood. And food represents the most common invader. And that's why you want to keep the blood clean, and that's why you want to put as little into your blood through food as possible. That's why caloric restriction is so powerful. That's why cultures that live long lives don't eat a lot of calories. That's why every test that's ever been done on an experimental animal to test longevity shows that the less you eat, the longer you live. So at its most basic level, aging itself is an eating issue. Accelerated aging anyway. Accelerated aging is an eating issue. As all health issues are. Diabetes is an eating disease. Doesn't it make sense if it's the third leading cause of death, diabetes? And I get letters every single day, dozens a month. I get hundreds of letters a month, probably half of them, or a third of them anyway, or a quarter to a third of them are about diabetes. Diabetes is simply an eating issue. Is it reversible? Yes, it's reversible. Change the way you eat. It reverses, period. And I talk to more people than I can count who've experienced this. I've seen more people than I can count who have reversed their diabetes, this so-called incurable disease. Diabetes is a nutritional eating disease. Nutritional deficiencies contribute, and gut and food digestive effects of the foods we eat contribute as well. Leads to inflammation, and doesn't that make it so simple to understand if you're a diabetic? Type 1 diabetes is slightly different because it's an autoimmune disease, but guess what? Autoimmune diseases, immune, that's the key word, are about the digestive tract as well. All right, if you got a health issue, a health challenge you want help with, please give us a call. From the journal Scientific Reports, McGill University researchers found that chronic pain reprograms your genes. Oh, surprise, surprise. You mean your genes get reprogrammed? Huh, how interesting is that? Where have you heard that before? Chronic pain actually changes the way your genetics work and make you more prone to disease states. The pain itself makes you more prone to disease states by changing your genes. Folks, your genes change all the time. There's a small percentage of them that are semi-permanent. I'm not even convinced they're permanent, but we'll say semi-permanent. But the vast majority of your genes blink on and off like Christmas tree lights. That's why they have epigenetics, which is the science of how those genes turn, or the science of what it is that turns those genes on and off. Epi means above, superior to. From This one is from the journal Genome Biology. Epigenetics drives weight differences between identical twins. Identical twins have the same genes, but they got weight differences. Why? Epigenetics. All right. I love collecting these articles, by the way, and I got tons of them. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's take our first phone call. Clayton, number 1 from Canada. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Ben. I was talking to you the other day about Ray Kurzweil, and we got cut off at the end of the show.
Yes, I love Ray Kurzweil, although I think we were saying he doesn't supplement well, and I was very surprised to see his movie where he just swallowed a bunch of these pills, and then later on I read that he's a really sick guy. And so it shows you that you could be really, really brilliant in a lot of ways, and he is uber brilliant. But he needs me to help. He needs to listen to the bright side, put it that way. And if you understand what we've been talking about here on this program, you know more than the genius Ray Kurzweil, at least when it comes to supplementation and nutrition. I was very surprised. But did you have a question you want to ask me?
Well, yeah, just a general question is it really necessary that we would need to take 150 supplements a day just to make it to a decent age?
No, it's not. That's what I'm telling you. That's how he does. For the listeners, Ray Kurzweil is this brilliant scientist. I mean, just crazy brilliant in terms of his vision. And The Singularity is Near is his classic book where he talks about this thing called the singularity, which is rapidly approaching, according to Kurzweil, and apparently it seems that way. And he says that technology increases at an exponential rate. 1 goes to 2, then 2 goes to 4, then 4 goes to 16, and then 16 goes to 32. And it goes to millions and millions and millions of times in a very short period. And he says that our technology is increasing at that kind of rate that is so rapid that within a very short period of time, 10 or 15 years, he says, we're going to reach a point where we will not be able to predict coming inventions or coming discoveries or coming technologies because they'll be so huge. The jumps in our technology and technological advances will be so huge we won't be able to predict what's ahead. In other words, it'll get to a point where it is just ridiculously fast, and he's saying we're probably in it right now, according to Kurzweil. And he's just this brilliant guy, but he takes 150 pills a day, and he doesn't know what he's taking, apparently, because he just swallows them. I mean, he knows what he's taking, but there's no strategy there. And Clayton, that's what you got to do. You got to work on a strategy. Everything has to start off with a strategy. I developed this thing I call the STAR system a few years ago, and I use it in the laboratory, but you can use it for anything. A STAR system, STAR, it's an acronym. S for strategy. Whenever you want to accomplish, you got to start off with a strategy. So when it comes to your supplementation, your strategy is going to be to make sure you have all of your micronutrients, that's the mighty 90 essential nutrients. You're working on a way to process them and absorb them. And if you have specific health challenges you're looking at, you may want to take more of one or less of another. And it's all the things we talk about here on this program. Your micronutrients, you want to take the watery ones with water, you want to take the fatty ones with food, you want to make sure you're using the accessory ones correctly like NAC and probiotics, you want to make sure you're working on the digestive system, stabilizing the blood sugar system, and working on making sure you're oxygenating and moving your body. That's your strategy. Your T stands for techniques or tools. Your tools are going to be the specific supplements you take, the specific exercises you use, the specific things you do to apply the strategies. The A stands for application. How you use the techniques. Do you take your B vitamins with water? Do you take your vitamin E with food? Do you take it once a day? Do you take it throughout the day? Do you exercise every day? Do you exercise every other day? Do you fast once a month? Do you fast twice a month? That's how you apply the techniques that allow you to utilize the strategy. And R stands for results, the STAR system. You start off with a strategy, you accumulate, you get your tools, accumulate your tools, you learn or how to apply those tools, and then you always get results. And you can use that system, by the way, to get rich. You can use that system to have a relationship or fall in love. You can use that system to get healthy. You can use that system to do good at your job, to get a job, to do anything. Start off with a strategy, accumulate the tools, learn to apply those tools. You'll always get results. So short answer to your question is negative. You don't need 150 supplements to stay healthy. Absolutely not. Supplements supplement. They supplement your food. We need to look up the word supplement. I'll look it up in our break, and I'll read it to you when we come back. Because supplements mean to add into. You got to start off with a good, solid diet, and the supplements add to that. And you don't need much for a good, solid diet. I got to move, Clayton. Is there anything else you want to add?
Was there ever a time in the history of humans that we were able to who eat and live to our full potential without having to do supplementation?
Yeah, absolutely. The problem was we didn't know how to cure a mechanical trauma or fix mechanical trauma or infectious disease. See, when we learned about nutrition about the turn of the 20th century, that's when we cured infectious disease. So they happened simultaneously. But so yeah, our caveman ancestors, they didn't eat at McDonald's. They ate mastodon, and the mastodon or the woolly mammoth wasn't eating GMO corn. It wasn't eating corn at all. The food chain was pure. So yes, they did. The problem was they died of infectious disease and trauma. So yes, there was. Our caveman ancestors were big and strong and brawny and healthy, but they couldn't deal with that, infectious disease, as I say, and trauma. Clayton, thanks for your call, man. Appreciate it very much. Take care, bro. All right, let's go to Rob in Reno, Nevada. How you doing, Rob?
Good. How about yourself, Ben?
Doing good, bro.
Yeah, love your show. Hey, real quick, when we do antibiotics, we got to start taking the probiotics and the kefir and the yogurt and all that to reintroduce good bacteria. Do we do the same thing with our animals? Like if you have
heck yes, probiotics for animals. Heck yes, you can turn a cat or a dog's. Oh heck yes, that probiotics for cats and dogs are amazing, and I've seen some crazy things happen in terms of reversing disease by just getting an animal on a probiotic supplement, and you can buy them at PetSmart now. Probiotics for animals, absolutely.
Because I was wondering, the same bacterial gut kind of flora, like if we just the antibiotics or the probiotics, we take out the capsules, sprinkle them in the food, or give them a little bit of kefir.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
that's
great.
100%. And by the way, what you said about antibiotics is very interesting because antibiotics will kill the probiotics. So nowadays, doctors are smart. They're getting smarter anyway, and they're hip to probiotics. So they'll tell you if you're taking antibiotics. Sometimes they'll tell you, make sure you take probiotics.
Can I ask you one more question?
Well, let me just say this one thing, and then we'll hold you over through the break. Never take your antibiotics with your probiotics. Give yourself hours between the two. The antibiotics will kill the probiotics. We'll finish up, Rob. Hang tight. We'll finish up when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. From JAMA Dermatology, rosacea is associated with significantly increased risk of brain cancer. How do you like that? But if you go to the dermatologist for rosacea, you're going to get an antibiotic cream to put on top of your rosacea. When it clearly is an inflammatory issue, when it clearly will lead to other health issues like all inflammation does, and when it clearly isn't going to work. If you got rosacea, folks, you have an inflammatory problem, and it can lead to all kinds of other things because inflammation is behind everything. I'm not saying you're going to get brain cancer, but according to this study anyway, what does it say here? According to this study, it's associated with a significantly increased risk of developing glioma, which is a type of brain cancer. All right, Rob, continue, man. Didn't mean to cut you off there, bro.
Oh, yeah, real quick, about fasting and people with type 2 diabetes that probably need to fast.
You're going to want to be careful with it because low blood sugar can be a problem for you. So be a little bit careful.
What do you do?
Short fasts, very short fasts, half-day fasts, work yourself into it. Make sure you're doing something like the Swero V when you're fasting, so you get a little bit of nutrients in there. The key with fasting is you want to keep your calories down as much as possible. You don't want to keep your energy down, you want to keep your calories down, and there's other ways to get energy, including small amounts of things like Swero V or small amounts of lemon broth, and also fasting short periods of time. And then make sure you're strong enough and healthy enough before you start your fast. Make sure you're not nutritionally deficient before you start your fast or having some kind of burden or stressor in your life while you're fasting, that kind of thing. And also be ready to nap. When you start a fast, be ready to take naps. Sleep, relax, lighten up, take a day off from work. Later on you could do fast and do your daily business. But when you start your fast, take a vacation. You don't have to go anywhere to take a vacation. Just stay in bed, relax. Let the body relax and do its business.
That's what I did when I fasted from a 27.5 BMI down to 21.5.
Nice.
On the days I fasted, I'd sleep because it's hard to eat when you're sleeping.
It's hard to eat when you're sleeping, right. And sleep is when we heal, too. Thanks, Rob. I got to motivate. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right. God bless you. All right. Let's go to Brian in Kentucky. What's going on, Brian? Welcome to The Bright Side.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, buddy.
I was looking around on YouTube, and there were two different women, they're slim, muscular, and no fat. They could be bikini models. And one pushes a high-fruit diet. And the other
half fruit? Did you say half fruit?
No, she...
I didn't hear what you said, Brian. Just repeat that. Half something?
No, she promotes a high-fruit diet.
Oh, high fruit. Okay, gotcha. Okay, what else?
And the other woman is strictly keto.
Okay.
I just wanted your opinion on
Keto's the way to
that.
go. Fruit's a big problem. I can't speak to her results because I don't know what else she's doing. But I can tell you that when we think of fruit, we get these warm, fuzzy feelings. But the problem with fruit is they have been modified, and I don't mean they've been genetically modified through breeding techniques. I'm not talking about modern day scientific gene splicing. I'm talking about through breeding techniques that farmers use to be super sweet. As our palates became dumbed down to sugar, we needed things that were super duper sweet. So fruits today don't look like fruits used to look. I remember a friend of mine gave me a big bag of crab apples once that were pretty darn tasty, but they weren't very sweet. You ever see a crab apple, Brian? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You ever see and compare that to the kind of apple you get today, right? What's the difference? One is small, not very sweet, right? And kind of like almost looks like more like a plum than it does like a big old apple. It doesn't even look like an apple. That's the difference between how we used to eat and how we eat today. So with the gal who's eating a lot of fruit, she's eating the big old honeydews and the big old melons and the big old apples and the big old plums that are super duper sweet. Now, she may be doing other things to control her the way she looks. I can't speak to that. The ketogenic diet, for the listeners, and most of you guys have heard of this probably, at least on this program, is what they call a low carbohydrate, high fat diet. Now, I modify it a little bit by saying protein. I don't even like high and low. I hate those words. But just keeping your sugar to a minimum, and that means fruit sugar as well as artificial sugar and desserts and such. It doesn't mean vegetable sugars. Vegetables have sugars in them as well, but you need those. So eating lots of veggies, making sure you're getting lots of good fat, including coconut oil and butter, most especially coconut oil. Well, including coconut oil and butter. Coconut oil is just absolutely stellar for the ketogenic diet. And then making sure you're getting enough protein. The key is the low sugar part, and that's really what I call the modified ketogenic diet. I much prefer that term than the ketogenic diet or than the paleo diet. Does that make sense, Brian?
It sure does.
All right, buddy. I'm going to move on. I got a bunch of calls here I want to get to, okay? Thank you so much for your call.
Right,
appreciate it. Take care. All right, Beverly in Oklahoma. Welcome to the bright side.
Hello.
Hey, Beverly.
Hi. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. What's going on? How can we help you?
Well, I was diagnosed with labile blood pressure in 2013.
Okay.
After having a stint placed in the left carotid artery.
Gotcha. Do you know what labile means?
Yes, to me it means roller coaster because my
yes, you got it. You got it. It goes up and it goes down. It's easily changed.
Yes,
moves up and down.
Yes.
Well, because your body's freaking out. It doesn't know what to do. You got something in there. A stent is like something they put in your blood vessels to open them up. So
right.
Your body's freaking out. It doesn't know what to do. Breathe deeply and slowly as often as you can. It's a must. You have a foreign agent in your body. Remember, we talked about inflammation at the beginning of the program. We said inflammation is immunity. Immunity is defense. Defense means something's in your body that shouldn't be. Usually it's food, but if you have a piece of metal in there, that can do it too. It's going to freak your body out. Hypertension, high blood pressure, which is an epidemic, is a sign of a freaked out body, a body in distress. Calm the body down for all hypertension issues. Now, labile is a little bit strange because you don't have it low or you don't have it high. It is going nuts, basically. It's moving up and down.
Okay.
So it's very important that you calm your body down. Deep breathing is the best way to do it. Massage, meditation, yoga, whatever you can think of to do it. Gratitude, emotional strategies, thinking strategies. These are all wonderful mechanisms. From a nutritional standpoint, the Mighty 90 essential nutrients are a must, but especially the water-soluble ones. The B vitamins, vitamin C, and the electrolytes. That's your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. I get on the Healthy Start Pack to make sure you get your Mighty 90. Sip on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Do veggie veggie juices. And then fats and fatty nutrients are also important. Omega-3 fats are important. Minerals like magnesium. Magnesium is actually crazy important for blood pressure, as is the vitamin B3 niacin. And then also vitamin E. I'm giving you a bunch here. I know you might want to go back and listen to the archives. Coenzyme Q10 as well is important for blood pressure. Basically, you want to look at calming the body down, the supplements I just talked about. And remember, sugar represents a major burden, stress. So keeping your intake of refined sugars and fruit sugars down as best as you can. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much. You have something else?
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
I have had insomnia for
same deal.
30-something years.
Okay, that's a long time. You haven't had a good night's sleep for 30 years, Beverly?
No.
That's not right, girl. That's not right. Here's what insomnia is a sign that the body doesn't want you to go to sleep. Why not? Because it thinks it's dying. It thinks a tiger's about to bite your head off. You think under those conditions it's going to let you drop down and sleep? No, it's not. So again, same idea, calming the body down. Before you go to bed, take a hot shower or hot bath. Before you go to bed, are you married?
Yes, I am.
Before you go to bed, have your husband rub your feet, or while you're going to bed. You know what I'm saying? Rub your back. So you relax the body into sleep so it knows its life is not being threatened. A little bit of protein before bed can help too. A little bit of whey, if you can handle whey protein, maybe a little bit of the Slender FX, a little bit of protein before you go to bed. That can help if you're waking up in the middle of the night. Melatonin is also a great sleep supplement. Okay? But relaxing the body is very important. It sounds like your body is feeling threatened. Do you have a baby, Beverly? Do you have a kid?
I have 4
They're
sons.
probably older
They're
now.
all adults.
All right. But when they were babies and they were in distress, what did you do? You rubbed their back, right? You talked to them. You sang to them. You did something to nurture them, to love them. Well, guess what, Beverly? You have another baby, and you've had it your whole life. And it's just as much a baby, and just as innocent, and just as loving, and just as much your companion as your children were. And it's called your body. Do you get that?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a beautiful day, Beverly. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
bye-bye. All right,
God
take
bless.
care. God bless you. All right, real quick, I think we got about that's it. Jeff, if you could call back, man, and Truth Raider, I apologize, and Ed, I apologize. That's all the time we have for today. If you call back tomorrow, we'll get you first up, tell our call screener that we left you on hold, and that's it. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll have some more good health information for you. We'll talk about the lymph. I've been wanting to talk about the lymph for a long time, haven't gotten to do it. And Alzheimer's disease and vitamin E, we'll do that on our next Brightside episode and also in the coming days. Please check out my skin health products, truthtreatments.com, including our retinol 5% gel and our vitamin C loaded Truth Balm Omega-6 Healing Cream and Truth Serum. And also check out the longevity products at pharmacistben.com, criticalhealthnews.com, or brightsideben.com, or call the phone team at 866-735-2470. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have an awesome, wonderful, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, the Mineral Doctor. You've heard me talk about 90 for life for years. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 fatty acids. You may not know this, that I've actually designed Arthur decks for animals. That's right. Your pets need 90 for life too. Get this essential pet product by calling 877-279-9422. That's 877-279-9422. Again, 877-279-9422.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowitz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallets, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
Why be held hostage by your wireless carrier for 2 years? What if you had no contract, no activation fees, no hidden costs, tracking, tracing, harvesting customer data, or draconian gimmicks, all on the nation's best 4G LTE network? Introducing Pix Wireless. Bring your phone and other qualifying devices to Pix and choose a plan starting at only $14 a month. Get connected now. Call or click 1-866-267-2056 or pixwireless.com. Spelled P-I-X, wireless.com. Pick Pix and get connected today.
If survivalist housing has been in your plans, get ready. We're bringing our Timberline range camps to you February 6th through 14th, the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Get an up-close look at some of our most popular Timberline models or visit survivalistcamps.com to pre-order a camp. We'll bring it to the show and save you the cost of shipping. It's the perfect time to get that camp you've wanted. Go to survivalistcamps.com, then plan on joining us at the Great American Outdoor Show in February in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs knows the benefits of supplementing with whey protein for optimal health and vitality. That's why he recommends protein shakes like the ones available through the Suzanne Division of Youngevity.
Whey is ridiculously important. In fact, next to human mother's milk, whey protein is the most nutrient-dense food. There's 2 major proteins in cow's milk, casein and whey. The whey part of milk contains growth factors and immune-stimulating factors, building the immune system. You're talking about cancer. The body has cancer fighters built into it. The body has molecules and entities that kill cancer. Those are part of the immune system.
To build and support your immune system, order the protein shakes from the Suzanne Division of Youngevity. Available in chocolate and vanilla. Call 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pileski of the Pileski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline, gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com. Or call 800-544-3533.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs knows the importance of proper digestion.
Make sure you take a look at the Ultimate Enzyme product. They're made with bile salts and fat digestion enzymes and protein digestive enzymes. And not only do the Ultimate Enzymes give you obvious benefits for digestion, but they can also help keep your blood flowing through your circulatory system. As most of you probably know by now, thick, sludgy, clotting blood is a serious risk factor for heart disease and stroke. Clearly, inappropriate and excessive blood clotting is a major health issue, and thick, sludgy blood is not just about heart health either. Sludgy blood can compromise oxygenation and nutrient delivery to all your cells and tissues and organs, and ultimately lead to almost any health issue you can name.
Concerned about proper digestion and heart health? Order Ultimate Enzymes by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470, or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Greetings, Phenomenal Ones. This is Dr. Jeremiah C. Hackley of Phenomenal Center. I want to invite you to the Phenomenal Health and Healing Conference in the city of Knoxville, February the 7th and the 8th. We have coming Dr. Joel Wallach. He is a two-time Nobel Prize nominee, the Humanitarian Award winner for natural medicine, featured at the United Nations, and have 75 peer reviews published in health journals. Dr. Wallach has an answer for you. Call us right now. We only have 100 seats. 865-851-7269. Health is not a matter of chance, but it is a matter of choice. Call us right now. 865-851-7269.
Winter has just begun, and are you already tired of being cold? How would you like to never be cold again? This is Dale with Fortress Clothing, and I'm here to tell you, you will never be cold again with Fortress. If you're tired of freezing your butt off, elk hunting, sitting in a tree stand, deer hunting, winter camping, fishing, ice fishing, no longer fear the cold. If you snowmobile, ski, snowboard, get Fortress. Sledding with the kids, shoveling the walks, shopping, or if you or your spouse get cold feet at home, get Fortress. If you're stuck outside working in the cold or find yourself in an emergency situation, get our winter bug out bag and you will never be cold again. Fortress is the answer, so quit complaining and go to fortressclothing.com. It's a mid-layer garment that goes with anything you want to wear. Enter coupon code RADIO and get 20% off any item. Go now while we still have inventory. fortressclothing.com.
Hey guys, Pat Matthews here to tell you all about the newest and best way to sell your products online. It's buysellmakeoffer.com, a brand new site to sell your stuff online. Your old golf clubs, sports equipment, tools, and yes, even your car. Forget about the other guys. Buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge you item fees. Go to the website now and sign up so that you can soon load all your stuff up to sell. This is not an auction site. Just use our resources along with Skype and videos to sell your items quickly and with no fees. Go right now to user-friendly buysellmakeoffer.com, where the first 30 days are on us.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria, which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.